welcome to your deep dive. You sent over some fascinating research about SLC6A1 related disorders.
Yeah.
And we're going to try to break down all the complexities of this rare genetic condition that impact brain development and function.
Right.
So to kind of give our listener a roadmap for where we're headed in this deep dive,
Okay.
we're going to first introduce SLC6A1 and its role in the brain.
Right.
Then we're going to look at this woman named Amber Freed and how her personal story with her son led to her becoming an advocate for research and treatment for this disorder.
Okay.
And then finally, we'll explore
Sounds good.
some of the promising research avenues that offer hope for the future.
Exactly.
So to start us off,
Okay.
what exactly is SLC6A1? I'll be honest, I was a little lost at first.
Well, SLC6A1 is a gene that provides instructions for building a very important protein called GT1.
Okay, so what does JT1 do?
Well, think of your brain as like a bustling city with messages constantly zipping between neurons like cars.
Okay, I like that analogy.
GT1 acts like a traffic cop.
Okay.
But specifically for the neurotransmitter GABA, which is kind of like the brakes in the system.
Gotcha.
It prevents overexcitation.
So if SLC6A1 is kind of like the instruction manual,
Right.
and GAT1 is the traffic cop, what happens when there's like a glitch in the gene?
Well, that's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
So when someone has what we call a pathogenic variant in SLC6A1, it means there's a change in the gene's instructions.
Okay.
So the JT1 protein doesn't work as it should.
Oh, so it's like the traffic cop is not directing traffic appropriately.
Exactly. And it throws this delicate balance of GABA out of whack.
So those traffic lights aren't working properly, and we've got fender benders all over the place.
Exactly. This can manifest as seizures, developmental delays, difficulties with learning and language, and even behavioral challenges.
Wow. So it sounds like this can have a really big impact on a person's life.
Yeah.
And kind of going from there, what is it like for families
Right.
who are dealing with this diagnosis?
Well, one of the papers you sent highlights Amber Freed's journey.
Okay.
And her son, Maxwell, started showing developmental delays. And after a lot of searching, they found he had a variant in the SLC6A1 gene.
So she didn't just accept the diagnosis.
No, not at all.
She became an advocate.
She did. Yeah, she used her background in finance
wow.
to dive headfirst into research.
That's pretty unique.
She even sent cookies via Uber Eats to top scientists to get their attention.
I love that.
And it worked.
So this was not your typical bake sale fundraiser.
Yeah.
This was a very savvy mom using her skills to make a difference.
Exactly.
What came of that?
Well, she founded SLC6A1 Connect.
Okay.
And it's become a beacon of hope for families facing this rare disorder.
So from what I gather, this is not just a support group. It's an organization that's like a powerhouse of information and resources.
Right. They have a website that offers easy-to-understand summaries of scientific papers, parent boot camps to equip families with knowledge, and even lists of doctors specializing in these conditions.
So they're really trying to tackle that information scarcity.
Absolutely.
Head on.
They also host an annual symposium.
Oh, wow.
Bringing families, scientists, and clinicians together.
Okay, so it's like you could actually sit down with the researchers who are studying this condition and ask them your questions.
Absolutely.
Directly.
It's really empowering.
So
yeah, it really fosters a sense of community and shared purpose.
So we've got a gene that's crucial for brain function. A mom who's a force of nature.
Right.
And an organization connecting the dots for families.
Exactly.
What more could there be?
Well, the research doesn't stop there.
Okay.
Scientists are hard at work exploring potential treatments.
That's what I really want to get into.
Yeah.
What are some of the promising avenues that are being explored?
Well, there are two main approaches that are generating a lot of excitement.
Okay.
First, we have drug therapy.
Right.
Which aims to improve the function of the existing JT1 protein.
So like giving those traffic cops an extra boost.
Exactly.
To keep the flow moving.
Exactly.
Okay.
One of the papers you sent highlights a drug called 4-phenylbutyrate, or 4-PB.
Okay.
It's thought to act as a chaperone.
Okay.
Helping more JT1 proteins reach the cell surface where they can do their job of regulating GABA.
Okay, that sounds promising.
Yeah. And then the second avenue, which is even more cutting edge, is gene replacement therapy.
Okay.
This involves delivering a healthy copy of the SLC6A1 gene directly into cells using a harmless viral vector.
Wait, are we talking about actually replacing the faulty gene?
Yeah, it might sound futuristic,
That's wild.
but it's becoming a reality.
Wow.
Institutions like UT Southwestern Vanderbilt and the Cleveland Clinic are actively researching this approach.
So instead of just managing the symptoms they're trying to fix,
Right.
the root of the problem.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
It is.
But what about the research on how SLC6A1 disorders present in adults? I found that to be very interesting.
Yeah, one of the papers you shared dives into this topic.
Okay.
It turns out that intellectual disability, epilepsy, and behavioral challenges are common across the lifespan.
Okay.
But the types of seizures and their severity can vary significantly in adults.
So even though the core challenges remain,
Yeah,
the way they kind of manifest can change over time.
that's right. And one major concern in adults is what we call refractory seizures,
Okay.
which are seizures that don't respond to typical medications.
Oh, wow.
This highlights the urgent need for those targeted therapies we discussed earlier.
Yeah, it makes sense that finding effective treatments for those difficult to control seizures would be a top priority.
Right.
Was there anything else about the adult cases?
Well, researchers are also exploring the possibility of a wider phenotypic spectrum than previously thought. This means that some individuals might have milder presentations of the disorder, perhaps influenced by other genetic or environmental factors.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all diagnosis.
Right.
There's a whole spectrum of experiences,
Exactly.
which makes research even more crucial
Yeah.
to understanding the individual needs of each person.
Absolutely. And speaking of research,
Okay.
let's not forget about those fascinating findings related to the location
Right.
of SLC6A1 variants and how they impact the severity of the disorder.
Oh, yeah, I remember that paper.
Yeah.
It was pretty dense, but I think I got the gist of it.
Well, they basically mapped out where different variants occur on the gene
Okay.
and found that location matters.
Okay, so it's not just about whether the gene is messed up, it's also about where the problem is located on the gene.
Exactly. And this has huge implications for both research and clinical care.
Okay, how so?
Well, for researchers, it helps narrow down the search for potential drug target or gene therapy strategies. Instead of looking at the entire protein, they can focus on the specific regions that are most critical for GABA transport.
Gotcha, so for clinical care.
As we learn more about the location and impact of different variants, we can start to move toward personalized medicine.
Okay.
In the future, doctors might be able to look at a patient's specific SLC6A1 variant and predict the likely severity of their disorder, or even tailor their treatment accordingly.
Wow, so one-day treatments could be as unique as the individuals they're designed to help?
Precisely. And this brings us to another important point, data sharing.
Oh, right.
Remember SLC6A1 Connect?
Yes.
They're playing a key role in advancing research by making data readily available to scientists worldwide.
That makes a lot of sense. The more collaboration and open access to information, the faster we can make progress.
Exactly. And speaking of progress, there's one more exciting area of research we should discuss.
Okay.
Investigating the role of environmental factors
Okay.
in SLC6A1 related disorders.
Oh, yeah. I remember that being mentioned in one of the papers.
Right.
It's not just about our genes. It's about how those genes interact with our environment.
Researchers are exploring how things like diet exposure to chemicals and even stress levels might influence how these disorders manifest.
That's a whole new layer of complexity, but also a whole new realm of possibilities for prevention or early intervention.
Right. And it highlights the importance of taking a holistic approach.
Okay.
Considering both genetic and environmental factors when trying to understand and treat these conditions.
So we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
Yeah, we have.
From the basics of SLC6A1 to cutting-edge research and the potential for personalized medicine. Is there anything we missed?
Well, we talked about drug therapy and gene replacement therapy.
Right.
But there's another fascinating area of research that focuses on enhancing the GABAergic system itself.
Okay.
So instead of trying to fix the JT1 protein directly, they're looking at ways to boost the overall function of the system.
So it's like if you can't fix a transporter, just make more of the neurotransmitter.
Exactly.
I like the way these scientists think.
It's all about finding creative solutions.
Absolutely.
And while these GABA-targeted therapies are still in the early stages of development, they hold immense potential for improving the lives of individuals.
Right.
with SLC6A1 Related Disorders.
This has been an incredible deep dive so far.
It has.
We've uncovered so much information.
We have.
From the molecular intricacies of SLC6A1 gene to the wider implications for individuals and families.
Yeah, it's amazing how much progress has been made in understanding and addressing these once mysterious disorders.
But our journey isn't over yet.
No.
In our final segment, we'll step back and consider the broader implications of all we've learned.
Okay.
Reflecting on the future of SLC6A1 research and the potential for transforming the lives of those affected.
Sounds good.
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into SLC6A1 related disorders.
Yeah.
We've covered so much.
We have.
From the science behind the gene to the personal stories of the people driving this research forward.
It's been quite a journey.
It really has. And now, as we kind of wrap things up, I want to get your thoughts on the bigger picture.
Okay.
What does the future hold for individuals and families affected by these disorders?
I think the future is bright, despite the challenges.
Okay.
The research we've discussed, from drug therapies that enhance GT1 function to the groundbreaking potential of gene replacement therapy, offers real hope for more effective treatments and improved quality of life.
It's amazing to think that we're on the cusp of potentially transforming the lives of these individuals. Not so long ago, they faced a future filled with a lot of uncertainty. But imagine a world where seizures can be controlled, developmental delays minimized, and individuals can reach their full potential.
That's a vision worth striving for.
Absolutely. And it's not just about developing these new treatments.
Right.
It's about improving access to those treatments, building strong support networks, and empowering families to become active participants in their loved ones' journeys.
You're right. It's about creating a holistic ecosystem of support where individuals and families feel heard, understood, and empowered.
And speaking of empowerment, I keep thinking back to Amber Freed's story. What an incredible example of resilience and determination.
Absolutely. Her unwavering advocacy has not only pushed research forward, but has also created a sense of community and hope for countless families. It's a powerful reminder that one person can truly make a difference.
Yeah, it's a testament to the power of human connection and the belief in a brighter future. And it's not just individuals like Amber Freed who are making a difference. We also have researchers, clinicians, and patient advocacy groups, all working together to unravel the mysteries of these disorders and translate scientific discoveries into tangible benefits.
It's a beautiful symphony of collaboration and shared purpose, all driven by the ultimate goal of improving lives.
And as we look to the future, I think it's crucial that we continue to foster this spirit of collaboration and innovation. We need to support ongoing research, encourage the development of novel therapies, and ensure that these advancements reach all those who need them.
I completely agree. We've come a long way in our understanding of SLC6A1 related disorders, but the journey is far from over and away. There are still challenges to overcome, mysteries to unravel, and lives to transform.
But with the dedication of researchers, the unwavering support of families, and the continued advancements in science, I'm confident that we can create a future where these disorders no longer define the lives of those affected.
That's a future worth fighting for.
And to our listener, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of SLC6A1 related disorders. We hope you've gained valuable insights, a new perspective, and most importantly, a sense of hope for the future.
Remember, knowledge is power. And by staying informed, engaged, and connected, we can all contribute to creating a world where every individual has the opportunity to thrive.
You can find links to SLC6A1 Connect and all the research papers we discussed in the show notes. Thanks again for joining us on the deep dive.